Hey guys, what's up? This is Little Pickers, and welcome to another Sparking Zero video. I should say the first one in quite a while. I've been trying to get on the job with those Mission 100 thingies, but good golly, it's been... Those last missions are really making me work for that C rank, so... Yeah, I've also had to attend other things, but, you know, whatever. Let's get the formalities out of the way. I honestly wanted to do a video about my criticisms, constructive ones, I might add, to the World Tournament mode for Sparking Zero, which I think is one that, myself included, not many people remember. It was very lackluster, I think we could say. But with so many updates that we've gotten recently, I really wanted to give it a shot and see exactly how bad it was, or if recently there's been any new changes that might make the mode a little bit more worthwhile to come and revisit. So my plan is to just go through all of the tournaments in one go, and yeah, just kind of record and share my experience in real time, you know? Well, I also wanted to talk a little bit about the upcoming DLC. At the time of this recording, we are on June 10th, so yeah. And to my knowledge, we haven't gotten any news or anything about the new DLC that's coming, along with all of the new patches and game modes that they're going to include. Or, well, game mode, I should say, but you know what I mean. Let's go ahead and just get this started and jump right to it. See how this goes. I don't think I'm going to have that much trouble. I do feel that the Mission 100 fights really worked you up. So let's see, who do I want to go with? You know what? Old but gold. Call me basic, but Gogeta from Super is still one of my favorite characters, and one that I really enjoy maining, especially Super Saiyan 1. I've talked about this before in the channel. Okay, good. I don't see any giant characters, which gives me a little bit of reassurance, because they can be a little bit messy. We're gonna have bounce loose... How do you call that? We're gonna have bounce enabled here, so if I touch anything outside of the ring, I'm done. See? So this is, I don't know, man. It's kind of a little bit of a shitty strategy. I'm not gonna lie. But how else are you gonna do it, right? I feel there's a little bit of RNG involved in this. You might mess up, you might try and go for a combo and end up screwing yourself over, and then the CPU just simply has to sort of push you a little bit and you lose because you went out of bounds. I just showed how simple it is. And in fact, I'm gonna cheese every single round here just to prove a point. This is everything that Goku himself would be against. Ouch. Okay. I wasn't expecting the... Okay. Okay, not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Whoa! I almost didn't react to that. Oh my god. There you go. Okay, I had to work a little bit for that one, but once again, we managed to cheese the thing. Look at him, he's so fucking cool, dude. So badass. I really like his melee string. I feel it's very unique. Now, right off the bat, I think this is something I've been choosing not to comment about, but the number of participants. Oh my god. I don't understand why they decided to just make it 8 and call it a day. Okay. Dude, what the hell are you doing? Please. Oh my god, there you go. That could have gone either way, dude. And just like that, we won the World Martial Arts Tournament. See? No wonder Hercule has been the reigning champ for so long. It's really easy if you think about it. Thank you, Gogeta. Oh, we got a Dragon Ball. Oh, I can't wait to use these for more Zenny. Right, guys? The Zenny, remember? The game currency that you use to unlock stuff? Yeah, I can't remember it either. I tend to forget about it. I think last time I checked, I had like 18 million Zenny or something like that. Like, it was an insane amount, but, I mean, what are you gonna use it for, right? I didn't check this, but, okay, you can create... So you can create templates, but... the fact that you actually had to be careful about how to approach the opponent, because if you did get hit, you were going to pay dearly for that in the next round. Unless you manage to, again, if you're able to manage your resources and not get hit that much, it's actually gonna be very smooth sailing for you. But I don't know if that's gonna be the case. I do feel like the super difficulty that they included does make a bit of a difference. They actually apply to more super counters, so, and they get more super counters off too. And there's no out of bounds here, so sadly I won't be able to cheese this one and expedite the process. But hey, it's been a while since I've actually played. The hell? Oh, come on! It's been a while since I've actually. Jesus, are you gonna let me talk, dude? There you go. That's what you get for not letting me talk, man. I was saying that it's been a while since I've actually played Sparking Zero. I was trying to stay very consistent with the mission. Jesus Christ, with the mission 100 fights. But yeah, I'm also working on other content. I've been juggling a lot. I think that's always been sort of my theme here. I always come back to Sparking Zero. It's still a game I have very present and that I still want to make a lot more content about. But there's also other games that I do want to play and record for. For example, Dredge. At the time of this recording, I've already posted like 2 or 3 videos about the game, and you bet your sweet pippy ass I'm gonna complete that. I already played the entire thing. I already have everything recorded. It's just a matter of sitting down and editing it. Jesus. And that's gonna be a challenge, because we're talking about sessions about 1 or maybe 2 hours. Because of course I want to jump into the game blind, so I'm not really sure on how to advance any hacks. I have to admit, some of the footage is just me like vibing, and that's it. Which of course I'm gonna cut out, because I do wanna. I've always talked about how I want to be a little bit more conscious about the video's length, so... Whoa. So I do plan on just cutting out what you would call the fat. You know, just leave what's substantially relevant, any jokes, funny things that happen to me. There's one thing, I will spoil this. It's a funny experience that... No, man. It's a funny experience that happened to me. So, Dredge, as the name would... Well, I did that so horribly. Poorly executed. Bye-bye. So yeah, the game is Dredge, and I didn't know that was like an action. I thought that was just like the name of the game. But Dredge is when you salvage... Okay, so... I noticed in time, if you notice there's like a weird cut right there, it's because for some reason my OBS stopped recording. But luckily I noticed it right on time. So anyway, going back to the freaking story I was trying to tell. The game is basically focuses on you salvaging stuff. There's this eerie vibe, yada yada. Now, at some point you do find certain items that you can like take to other people and sell them, i.e. fish, or you know, just old-timey relics such as rings, jewelry, stuff like that, you know. And there's this one instance, it's very early in the game that it happens to me. I find this belt buckle and I'm not really sure what to do about it. So I think to myself, hey, maybe I should just sell this. I did meet in that same recording session, I didn't meet the antique guy. It has a different name, but I can't remember it right now for the life of me. And the guy just decides to give me and I decide to sell the belt buckle to him, thinking, hey, it's just a weird belt buckle thingy. I don't think I should give it too much thought, right? Lo and behold, literally the next thing I do is I start talking to this guy that's at the pier, and he tells me about his son, how he was so passionate about sailing, and that he went out and, you know, to be a fisherman because he loves the sea and all this stuff. Kazuko ni ore wa naru and all that shit, right? And he tells me that it's been so long since the son left that he fears something might have happened to him. Reluctant to actually contemplate the possibility of any of his fears actually coming true, the guy simply tells me, hey, if you can find anything that used to belong to my son, you know, dredging stuff when you're out there at sea, bring it to me, please. I know, he mentions this very specific item that his son cherished a lot, which was a belt buckle, which just so happened to be the very same belt buckle that I sold literally a couple of minutes ago. So yeah, very, very unfortunate turn of events there. I did see another playthrough, I think it was Jacksepticeye, where... Jesus, man, I feel this guy is a little bit aggressive. Jack did manage to get the belt buckle back to the guy. So yay! There you go. And you do get like a research part, which is sort of like currency that you can use to purchase or, well, unlock upgrades or better gear. So it's not a finite resource, which made me think that it was okay for me to sell it at the end of the day. Like, I didn't get soft locked or anything because of that, so it was a little bit of a relief to see. It was just a funny experience where a poor grieving father was talking to me. A poor grieving father was just talking to me about how he was hoping to get at least one heirloom to remember his son by, and I just went ahead and sold it at the pawn shop. The game doesn't ever... I think the following text is like the guy... It says like the guy goes to the antique shop and tries to talk to the dude. I don't know if... or at least in my playthrough, the game never outright tells you if the guy does manage to save it or not, or what happens with that. You sort of talk to the dude afterwards, and he's just like in a trance, you know? So he's just talking the same dialogue forever and ever, so... Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we're already halfway through with the Other World tournament. Shocking, considering how many characters you get to play as. Or, well, against. No, it's not even how you say that right now. My English is just top-notch all the time when I'm commentating. Oh, that was a cool combo, man. 33 hits. Remember, hey, now watching that, I remember when Sparking Zero recently came out, how a lot of people were uploading videos about how to combo, and this is the true guide that will get you to zero and really fast, which I think was a bit of a weak title considering how easy it was, you know, back in the day when you just had to spam instant sparking with any like Goku when you won every single match. Because the guy would just take away like 3 health bars out of you. Any Goku would also have 4 health bars, which just made it even more fair, right? But I always remember, and it always stood out to me as a little bit funny how some of these newcomers came in just giving you they did show you the basics, which I had to give them credit for. They did kind of like explain to you how the combos work in here, how the strings are designed and all that stuff. But the focus, I feel, was also a little bit... Was also something I felt was a bit misguided. because again, they were trying to talk you into how all of these different, I missed that, how to land like 80 hit combos and all that spiel, but it all became so irrelevant when the other character, or well, the other player just knew how to pull off super cannons, which again, back in the day, back in those early days of Sparking Zero, was also a little bit easier, because you just had to sort of like spam it until you got it, which lowered the skill level so much in competitive. It was basically making it a little bit of a luck-based event, where if you did manage to input it at the right time, you got the super cannon, which sort of turned the whole final fight into just kind of like a 50-50 kind of chance thing. Obviously, we've come a long way from there. Now you have a penalty. Ooh, Tournament of the Destroyers. I wonder how this is going. So yeah, nowadays it's people. The community has a much more broader understanding on what exactly makes this game more difficult or more technical, I guess you could say. Oh, is this a team fight? Huh. I don't know DP, so you know what? Right? Yes. Where's my team preset? Which one do I want to use? Oh, right. I remember what that was about. This is gonna be my team. Right, guys? Let's kick some ass. Oh, we're back here? Didn't we fight here for the Otherworld tournament? I was replying to a message. I don't even know who's... Well... Jesus. I don't even know who I'm fighting against. Jesus, why do I have so much health? I just noticed that. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Or not. Dude, just give it up already, man. Jesus. Well, what I wanted to say earlier before I got incredibly surprised by how much health I have is that this Team Gohan is probably one of the better characters. It has such good key management. Or, well, it enables you to have such good key management because... Well, that was a little bit trippy. Because his super attacks cost so little. He has a high speed rush, which is a huge improve to what he had on Sparking Zero on BT3. Whoa, that kind of flew back there. Which is a little bit slower. Nice, since it throws you off a little bit more. And then you also have his Kamehameha attack, which takes only 2 bars of ki, which I always thought it was incredibly broken to be able to do that. There you go. Oh, come on. And he also has this? Okay, I'm gonna show something very... Oh wait, I think I can't. Yeah, I can't. Lol. I have to wait until... Oh, it's gonna be a long wait, man. Ah, oh, darn it. There's something that I find very weird about the game. No. I'm just... Random bullshit, go! Will you stay still? So what I was gonna talk about earlier is one thing that I've noticed, or well, I didn't specifically notice it, but there's a lot of people that have been pointing this out, and there's a bunch of inconsistencies with how certain power levels are being illustrated or portrayed in the game. you know. So case in point, something very typical was the ability to break through stuff while flying, you know. So I'll show you an example here. For example, this. You saw Gohan was able to break through all of those through that mountain. Oh, this is not good. I might have chosen a poor. Oh yeah. Can I? Nope. Yeah, that's on me. But anyway, I guess I'll just take advantage of the cutscene. There's not that good portrayal of power levels in here. Now, take a look at this Gohan. You can tell I'm struggling to break through this, which is completely understandable. Don't get me wrong. Like, this is just an example of when it's done right. See, and there we broke through the mountain, no problem. Now, this is I'm gonna have to see if maybe some of my characters have that, but sometimes the game will show you. Sometimes the game will have characters that are technically stronger or canonically are stronger than Gohan. In this example, we're using Gohan as our frame of reference. Yeah, and they'll be able to break through those mountains if they're stronger, or sometimes despite being stronger they won't be able to break through those mountains, which is always weird, you know? Ow. Oh, did not see that. Oh ho! I was able to react to that one. Bye-bye. How many more do we need? Okay, are you the last one, Piccolo? I hope so. Because I'm getting tired. So yeah, for example, you could see characters on the level of, for example, jeez, dude, are you gonna calm down? Dude, I thought I was punching you. Dick. Ow. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Or not. Bye-bye. I haven't been able to finish my thought. Okay. Let's just restart the entire conversation. So, there's an inconsistency in the game when it comes to portraying certain power levels, because you'll see characters like Gohan in this instance, who in his Super Saiyan 2 state is very... he has a breeze breaking through mountains and stuff when he's flying around with his aura, like with the ki around him, right? Earlier I showed how having him transform back into his base form, he couldn't achieve the same feat, right? There are characters that, despite being canonically stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, will show the same struggles that base Team Gohan showed earlier in my demonstration. I.e., they won't be able to not block, but break through certain destructible objects like the mountains in this map. Which is weird, because you would assume that the reason why Super Saiyan 2 Gohan can't, but the other version can't, is because of the power level. Well, you have characters that are stronger that can't do the same, like they can't accomplish the same feat within the game. Which then makes you wonder, like, did he vanish it? Son of a bitch. He vanished it. You son of a bitch. Which makes you wonder how consistent or how well implemented are some of those details, because Budokai Tenkaichi 3, or well, the Tenkaichi series in general, was very well known because of how do you say that? They were famous because of how thorough, that's a word, because of how thorough they were when it came to, implementing some of these things. Did he vanish it again? Son of a... Will you die already? Thank you. Now, you may be wondering why am I bringing this up. See, I'm gonna do something with this Gohan, and if I have a chance to show it later, or I'll search for a chance to show it later. But take a look at this. You know the classic tornado kick, right? You sweep them off the ground, you stand them back up with flying kicks, and then if you press square, you can follow up with one last attack that'll send them flying. Now, I usually used to infer that this is something that any character stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan would be able to achieve. Well, ooh. Well, lo and behold, Ultimate Gohan, the one from the Buu Saga, can't do that. For some reason he can't, and it's very interesting to me. I think early Z Goku can also do that flying kick, like that hurricane kick combo, which again is very baffling to me considering that he's way low in terms of power level in comparison to all of these other characters. Jesus, can you stop doing that? Oh my god, how many more until we finish this? You know what? Oh, mon chéri, you have made a terrible mistake. Now you will die. At the hands of a kid who shouldn't be that strong. Oh, well, he shouldn't be able to kill you, but damn, he's kicking all your asses. And there you go. Nice and easy. Am I right? Now check this out. This is one of the insane advantages that I've come to discover with characters that transform. For example, a strategy I like to employ sometimes is saving up the skill points with Base or Super Saiyan Gohan, the one from the superhero movie, and just go activate the full power mode, which will which will refill all of your ki. And Jesus. But ever since one of the most recent, well, not one of the most recent, this is rather an old change that they implemented already, but it's basically if you activate any move that'll enhance your attack, that'll refill your... Oh, I did not mean to do that. Okay, I'm gonna organize my thoughts again. So a cool strategy that I like to employ sometimes also, and the best example for this would be Gohan from the superhero movie, is how abilities that recharge your ki have been nerfed so that whenever you activate them, you also get a debuff on defense, right? It's, I think, a -2. Well, something that I've learned is if you transform, you lose all of those debuffs, but you still get to keep the ki, right? So it's a nice strategy for you to like help with ki management. Whoop. And it helps you keep an edge, because you can see any basic tutorial videos about this game. Everybody's always constantly reminding you that ki is a very important resource here. You don't have ki, you're pretty much screwed. So you want to be very careful. Get off me. So you want to be careful. Jesus. He was making me work for that last bit of health. So you want to be careful when you use those abilities, because you are trading in getting more damage from basic hits in exchange of instantly refilling your ki bar. But if you can transform, you instantly lose that debuff. This also applies to buffs as well. For example, Super Goku, Super Saiyan, he has the all-encompassing power ability, which will automatically not only refill his entire ki bar, but also give him like 3 or 4 buffs, and the classic defense debuff that we talked about earlier. You can transform back to base if you want to lose that debuff, but you also lose the buffs that you get with the ability, which kind of makes it, in those instances, I feel it diminishes it a little bit more. Whoa! Okay, this one might actually give me trouble. Huh? What do you say, Broly? Are you planning to give me trouble? Oh, he's definitely gonna give me trouble. Please don't. That's another. That's what I was fearing. There's another strategy that you can use. For example, with this Broly. See, I tend to be ultra aggressive, which is not really good, especially when I start getting frustrated. But when you play, for example, against a character like Broly, who's low, and usually, like, meta, in terms of meta, I feel that a lot of characters tend to be better if they're hit slow, but there's also an added value if you have a character that moves fast. Having something in between is kind of like the perfect balance that you want to go for. That's why I feel like a lot of people like to use Gogeta Blue instead, because he's not that easy to super counter. The rhythm to his physical attacks are so weird. They're a little bit more irregular. Obviously, I'm not saying you're gonna be super counter proof if you play with a character like that, but my point is that characters that fight a little bit slower could be a little bit more troublesome, but they also have that counter that it's harder for them to dodge or be a little bit more nimble when it comes to, close quarters. So the thing with that Super Broly is when you transform into his Berserker form, you can actually count on, if you can predict your opponent is going to rush in and try to hit you, if you manage to catch them off guard right when they're about to get off me. I'm you, but cooler, man. Jesus! Okay, this one is a little bit more aggressive, but I can still finish my thought. I'll try. If you can catch your opponent off guard with Super Broly when you transform, you will actually be able to get in some really good cheap damage. If you ever played against the raid boss, which was, well, not raid boss, but the legendary warrior event when Broly was the first one to come up, that was insane. He could punish you so hard with that, because since he had such big buffs that just getting hit by that weird explosive wave that he does once would probably kill you, actually. Now that I think about it. Wanna get it again? Yeah. There you go. Now, speaking of the legendary warrior event, I remember the legendary warrior event? That was something. I think that was nice. It was kind of fun. I never understood why they decided to just remove it after a certain period of time. We had what? We had Wiz, Golden Frieza, and Broly. I think those are the only ones we ever had. And then Broly came back again. Somehow. Whoa. This isn't gonna hit it. But you are dead, which makes it completely fine. Hey, are you the last one? Tell me you're the last one. Ouch. Oh man, I did not expect. I was not going for the super counter there. I want to be honest. And did I get 3 buffs? When did I get those? Why did I get those? Was there some shadow patch that I don't know about? Ooh, bye hit. What are you talking about, viewers? I'm killing these guys. Hit, please stop fighting the inevitable. Oh my god. Okay, Hit, I hear you. I hear you, man. Whoa. Hello? Somebody is pissed. I'm gonna have to put you back to sleep, man. Dear God. Sadly for you, I still had one more hit in me. Oh my god, not this again. I said it once and I'll say it again. You were fighting the inevitable, man. Nothing to do about that. Yay! We won! We're on a streak here. Not really. It's not like that. It's that impossible to win these, but yeah, let me enjoy my 2 minutes in the sun. Tournament of Power, and then we got the Yamcha games. Almost there, guys. Almost there. Okay, now I do want to also talk about something else, which is the upcoming Sparking Zero DLC. I have some concerns about that. Like I mentioned, at the time of this recording, we're already 10 days into June. I know summer technically doesn't start until, I think, June 21st, I believe. But we haven't gotten any news since the last trailer that was released. And that is a little bit concerning to me because it's giving me Daimapad 2 release window vibes. You know what I mean? They'll probably aim to release the DLC right around the end of the summer, probably. I mean, it's technically still true. They would be releasing it in the summer. But having you wait that long makes me wonder if they kind of overcommitted here, you know? Because the DLC is coming on with a lot of content, you know? And we've gone over this before, but we're gonna be getting a new game mode. We're gonna be getting... Whoa. We're gonna be getting a new game mode. We're gonna be getting a shit ton of new characters, new fight mechanics and everything. Oh, I walked into that one. I guess you could say vanished into that one. Oh my god, are you... Stay still, goddammit. You are one frustrating woman to fight against. There you go. Here you go. See? That's what I wanted to show, guys. Notice how I tried to hit her with the hurricane kick, but it didn't work. This Gohan doesn't do it. Ah, but this one? Easy as pie. And... like, why? Why is that? I swear to God, I might never... You're okay. I'm not really sure why that is, but it's weird and inconsistent, and I think it's a bit of a shame. It kind of speaks a little bit poorly about the devs noticing these types of inconsistencies within the game. Are you gonna... No. Oh, right, you can also lose out of bounds here, I forgot. And you can't fly. Oh, that was a clean, perfect smash. I'm gonna say I was totally planning for that, and you can just ignore my surprise reaction to it, because it was totally intentional. Anyway, so what I was... going back to the DLC topic, I am concerned because I feel like they might have overcommitted to this. I talked about this last time when the trailer was dropped, and I did touch upon the subject of how is this content going to be distributed? We're just going to be getting all of this in one go? One huge update with all of these new changes? Or what's going to happen? How are we going to go about this? Because if they are planning on releasing this all in one go, it makes me think that we're not really going to get anything new until later. Like, we're not going to be getting any new content, but we probably will still be getting some, like, teasers and updates on other things that they'll be planning for the game, you know? But in terms of content and new stuff to enjoy within the game, this is probably going to be it. Which, it's not bad, but yeah. I do hope we get, like, more small-scale updates. But yeah, anyway, that's not what I was trying to talk about. My point is that I hope they don't end up cutting corners so that they can... Oh, I thought I vanished that. So that they can deliver on this game. Well, on the DLC. Jesus! Master Roshi, you're giving me more trouble than you're worth. I had to say it, man. Sorry. So it makes me wonder if we are going to be dealing with, I don't know, perhaps a much more complicated, a lackluster release. Like, don't get me wrong, the trailer made everything look really hyped, and I'm definitely... How many of you are going to be maining Gohan with his Goku Gi? I will, because that's my favorite getup, and it's still so freaking criminal that we never really got that as part of the game, like, on release. Which, that in and of itself is also another hot topic, right? How much is this gonna cost? And will the price actually be reasonable? A lot of people have been saying that they're placing the DLC pricing around maybe $40, I think, which around maybe $40-50, which I think is just outright insane. It's batshit crazy that they would charge so much for a freaking DLC. You're essentially paying for a second game, you know. So I hope that isn't the case. I'd say, you know, in order to make this actually a very worthwhile DLC, I would say that they would need to probably like charge you about $20, maybe $30 max. I think $30 would be the top, because we are getting a lot of new characters. But that's the thing. Oh! Okay, so that happened. That's the thing. We are getting a lot of new content, but most of it, as I mentioned before, I'm assuming it's going to be free. Because, for example, the game mode, the fight mechanics, I'm assuming those things are not gonna be included in the DLC. They'll just be part of you purchasing it, right? Of you updating the game. Sorry, not purchasing it. No, you should not be purchasing anything. So when you taking that into consideration, what you're actually paying for is, get over here. What you're actually paying for is just a couple of new maps, which again, it's good that we're getting maps. Don't want to be like too negative here, but you're essentially paying for technically 5 new maps and a shit ton of characters. All right, I had that on. Whoa. Okay, Kefla, calm down. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be anywhere near that ledge. I feel that's just gonna spell a problem for me. What the hell? Oh. Sure, we take that. We'll take that win. So yeah, going back to the whole topic of, so yeah, blah. So going back to the DLC conversation, what else? Am I missing anything else? They showcase so many new things, but I feel like a lot of it is also meant to be updates, you know? So if they're planning to charge like $40 for some of these for just a couple of 5 new stages and a crap ton of new characters, then I don't know, I do struggle to find that as a sensible thing to do, you know? Kratos being one of the most sensible men you can know would tell you about it. Ow. Oh, you are not going to touch me, sir. Do not touch. This is a no touching zone. No touching. You cannot touch. This is the line. You cannot cross this line to touch me. If you cross that line, there will be hell to pay. I don't know if any of you might get that reference. It's a very old movie. It was from my childhood, and I'm entering my 30s, so you can imagine how old it is if it used to be part of my childhood. But it was a good movie, nonetheless. Sheesh, I was expecting a 4th one since you already went out, since we were already 3 in. La 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 la. I'm not enunciating properly. Stop that! You stop doing that, man. No! Ah! Anywho, so yeah, there's a little bit of concerns on my end with how they're planning to manage this DLC, and if they really do plan on charging that much, 40, 40 or $50. Like again, 30 I think is more than its fair share. Stop it! I said stop it! Okay, this is my opinion. How did you were stuck in the freaking animation, man? How did you do that? There you go. Inner peace. Inner peace. I hope they don't charge that much for the DLC. And if the reason why I'm so critical is because I feel like half of the content that was revealed should be an update. It literally doesn't make any sense to me, honestly, that they would charge you for updates. How the hell? Because not everybody's going to buy the DLC. I'm pretty sure of that. That's a given fact. How would somebody that hasn't purchased the DLC play against somebody who did? See where I'm getting at? Like, riddle me that, you know? I don't know how maybe they can find a way to make that work. Maybe there's like some practical loophole that you could go about. But wait, did I choose the right one? Yamcha Games. Tackle the mighty Yamcha if you dare. Yeah, because you're such a menace, man. Like, I don't know. Maybe there is a way that they can make it work. Players that didn't buy the DLC can still play. Ooh! I forgot Yamcha assigns you a character randomly. And they couldn't have given me a better one. Yeah, this little demon, I do not forget. Yeah, this little demon's gonna be problems. Pretty much have this thing in the back already. I keep playing as if I'm playing against a normal character, and this is not a normal character. Ah, of course he has. All the giants have explosive wave, which is a shitty thing to do, considering how obnoxious it is to freaking fight them. I hate fighting against giant characters. I don't know how they did it. In Budokai Tenkaichi 3, it wasn't that frustrating. But in Sparking Zero, it's a pain in the ass. I freaking hate it, man. Here you go, pew pew lasers so you die. Seriously, you can't see him? You lost track of the freaking giant green man. Whoa! Also, the revenge counters, I feel is a little bit more tricky to react to. I don't know, maybe I'm just very old and my reflexes aren't what they used to be. Oh wait, no, but I definitely don't want to ult you. Especially because I think you also carry over your health from the previous match like you do in the Cell games. So yeah, I'm just gonna pew pew you to death. Seriously? There you go. Thank you. And going back to the DLC, even if they do find a way to make it work, like players that didn't buy the DLC can still play against players that did, I think it would be kind of sleazy, you know? It wouldn't make sense in my head that some players would have access to these new fight mechanics and features while others didn't, other players don't just because they didn't buy the DLC, you know? That's why I'm so hard-headed in the fact that, or well, confident that they are going to be adding a lot of this new content will be added for free. Whoa. Woohoo! Talk about a close call. Let's start some key. But yeah, those are some of my concerns regarding the DLC. I'm pretty sure there's more that other people also have about it. Some different perspective that I didn't take into consideration when the trailer dropped. I mean, the most common one is obviously, oh, you want to know something funny? Now that I just remembered this. Whoa, sheesh. Ah, crap. Well, that was gonna hurt. Dude, are you gonna... Son of a bitch. Oh my god. Dude. I just want to show my audience something. Yeah. Cyberman also has the hurricane kicks, but not Ultimate Gohan. God forbid he has that. He'll be too OP, man. Yeah, okay. Coming back from that tangent, another very clear concern or observation that people have about the upcoming DLC is that a lot of the things that they showed should have been included in the original game. You know, like it should have been in the game upon release. Case in point, the Dragon Ball characters, Devilman, Demon King Piccolo, Grandpa Gohan. Additions like Champa or GT Vegeta and Trunks, I think those do justify being included in the DLC. Because they are literally new additions that the game didn't have. Okay, Yamcha, are you gonna be difficult? Huh? Is that it, Yamcha? Do you wanna be difficult? Are you a calm, reasonable man, Yamcha? Or are you gonna have to make me punch some calm and reason into you, man? Oh god. No! Oh god, I hate this. I suck so much at these. I always lose. I didn't make it. Damn it. Did he vanish? Oh, shouldn't have rushed. Are you gonna dodge this? Oh, fucker. Look at that. Whoa, oh my god. And I should react just in time. Now we're gonna finish this in a very cool way. Bye-bye, Yamcha. It was good meeting you. Oh god. No! Thy hubris is thy fall. We'll be right back. Okay, so I was planning to just stay quiet and focus on making it back to the jump shot round as soon as possible. But I did remember something while playing as Vegeta, because yeah, the game that's the character the game gave me this instance, which is not a bad character at all. Don't get me wrong. But it did remind me of a video that I saw recently on TikTok where once again they exposed another crappy thing about Sparking Zero. So, you know how all characters allegedly have different melee streaks, right? This is what I mean by the melee streak, by the way, just so that we're on the same page. Now, at first glance you would think that most of these are unique to each character. You know, Goku Super Saiyan Blue has a very particular one where he does this very fluid movement, punching and kicking and stuff. But then somebody else pointed out that developers, once again cutting corners, just copy-pasted these strings onto different characters. And they're not even related characters. They're just characters that have them, you know? Case in point, I mean, for example, you can make an argument for how Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Ultimate Gohan from the Super movie both are related, so it makes sense that their fighting styles would be a little bit similar. But then you have characters like Super Saiyan Trunks, the buff version, who has a very similar or outright identical melee string to that of Super Saiyan Blue Goku's, which is like where's the logic there, you know? Damn it. Like, where's the logic there? Trunks and Goku never really train, and they're not related in any way. So, dude, man, good core, Trunks. And with style. So, so yeah, there are characters in the game that have similar melee strings. And it's not like they were doing a thing where they were adding different nods to different characters and like, oh yeah, because these characters are related. No, it outright seems more like, ooh, another Dragon Ball. It seems like outright developers just wanted to cut corners, you know? But yeah, I still love Sparking Zero, don't get me wrong. But it's kind of crappy to see how little love was put into the game. I think the effort was invested in other aspects as well, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, capitalism, corporate world, all that good spiel. I think it's also kind of like eating away at the industry, which is not a groundbreaking statement. I think we can all agree on that. I'm going into the shop because I wanted to double check what was my total. Yeah, 18 million zenny is what I have, but it's kind of pointless at this point, you know? It's kind of pointless at this point. It's kind of pointless at this stage of the game where there's literally nothing else that you can buy. I already purchased everything. And it's kind of crappy content also. Like voice lines, music, BGMs, different modes for the CPU, like strategies and these. Heck, why don't they update these? You know, like add more stuff, more costumes. There are so many costumes that you can include. And that's something that I do want to, like, shout out to the developers for including the End of Z outfit, which fans have been so vocal about wanting in the game, officially speaking. And also the Capsule Corp gi that he uses during the days leading up to the Cell games. Shout out and acknowledgement to them for that as well. But yeah. Well, that's the tournament mode. Honestly, it was fun. I had a fun time, but there's really not that much replayability for it. I'm here because I wanted to do a video on it, and that's why I decided to play it. But like, yeah, I don't know. I guess what do you guys think? What would you do? Like, self-imposed rules or gimmicks to make this a little bit more fun? Because as it is, I think it's still a little bit of a lackluster mode. Kind of like with story mode as well. I feel those two have not gotten any love ever since the game came out. They've been pretty much just stayed the way as they are. They've made some adjustments with graded Vegeta's difficulty, which I think is kind of like a shame, honestly. But yeah, those two modes I think have been ultimately forgone. All of the updates have been focused more on just game mechanics, fighting thingies, and ranked. Quality of life changes and whatnot, but yeah, nothing else. Anyway, I freaking love Sparking Zero. I'm still gonna keep playing this thing, especially when the DLC comes out. You bet your sweet PPS I'm gonna go ahead and think of content to pull out from that. But in the meantime, guys, that's gonna be it. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. And let me know down below, what do you think? What do you want to see in upcoming DLCs or updates or releases? What other aspects do you think have also been left and forgotten ever since the game came out? Let me know down in the comments below. For anything else, guys, be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.